Well, to be honest, I was hoping I wouldn't have to talk about Sh2out anymore. If you haven't seen already, I've done a big video on my YouTube channel. You can check that out. I'll put the link below. And I really go into the reasons why I sort of got some concerns about Sh2out. Now, I love Jonathan, Simon, and all the people from Outdoor Swimmer magazine, but they've really given Sh2out some real softball questions for them just to knock out the park. Hardcore investigative journalism, this is not. So I was trying to think of an analogy so the people from Outdoor Swimmer can just understand some of the concerns, because reading this article, certainly the Triathlon Federation, don't seem that bothered that people are concerned about this, open water swimmers, generally concerned. So I was thinking, right, if triathlon understands and knows about open water swimming so well, then you can cancel your subscription to Outdoor Swimmer right now, because just get a triathlon magazine. Sure, the triathlon magazine will cover everything that open water swimmers love and enjoy doing. It'll cover the wild swimming, the winter swimming, they're going swimming into high ponds, all sorts of issues. It'll represent you. No, it won't, will it? No triathlon magazine, if you look at them, 220 and the likes, covers anything really that open water swimmers want to see covered. And that's the same as the Federation. They don't understand open water swimming. Now, I did say in my video, it is a good thing if they go into private venues where you can only go in there if you go through a private organization, and they give them some guidelines and help. And I still don't think they're listening to what open water swimmers need. Now, I know this because Sh2out actually approached me and asked me to give some advice about a year ago on winter swimming and temperatures and whatnot. And one point they're talking about a 5-degree mark, and even that I didn't agree with, but it seems like they just ignored it. So quickly, some of the things they talk about here. Will accredited venues have to close when it's below 11 degrees? No, in reality, a few Sh2out accredited sites choose to operate below 11 degrees. It just means they operate outside the Sh2out guideline. Now, if I was asking these guys some questions, I would have a follow-up question. So if you become a Sh2out accredited venue, you're not going to become a Sh2out accredited venue for most of the year, and then for a bit of the winter swim, you decide not to be accredited. You're either accredited or you're not. It's better that Sh2out talks to outdoor swimming societies, talks a bit of swimming, talks to lots of different people, and sorts out its guidelines so it represents open water swimming and not triathlon. Remember, triathlon regulations are set because you've got to come off your bike, out the swim, and go on your bike and be able to function safely. That's why they've got their temperatures. And they're going to lump everybody else in with the triathlon temperatures. Will wetsuits be compulsory if water's below 14 degrees? The decision to wear wetsuits while swimming down an individual and the venue. The guidance from Sh2out is to wear a wetsuit below 14 degrees. Again, if you're an accredited centre and you know nothing about open water swimming, but you want to welcome open water swimmers, it's a good revenue for you, then again, you're not going to be accredited and then go against their recommendation. So this is just, again, ask the hard questions, outdoor swimmer. This is going to affect swimming for a long time, unless you want everyone just to cancel their magazine subscription and get a triathlon magazine. The same thing here. If we're letting triathlon dictate open water swimming in all these venues, it's a slippery slope, guys. It really is. It is good. I mean, I was speaking to a friend who says that because of Sh2out, he's going to be able to open up his venue that so far hasn't been able to be opened up, and that's great. But I would say Sh2out, again, if they understood swimming, they shouldn't just be looking at the commercial side of this. They should be looking at opening up venues so people can just go there and swim without having to pay, and certainly without having to have, the right number of kayaks and safety boats and whatnot. Look at some of the models that already exist. The Serpentine Swimming Club, and the people down in Brighton. I was down there about a month ago. Brighton Pier swimmers. They've been going for over 200 years. Okay, that's a long time, a lot of history. And what they do is they've got a club. They look after each other. They've got a few hours where people can go swimming, and they're not having safety boats and kayaks and that sort of stuff. But they do look after each other. They've got a clubhouse. People go swimming for a set time, and then they get out. There's not all these regulations. You swim in the winter without a wetsuit, with a wetsuit, whatever you want. And that is, I believe, what outdoor swimmers would like, is to have free and open access. And if there's obviously a compromise between what Sh2out is trying to do and, you know, what the outdoor, now I don't speak on behalf of the Outdoor Swimming Society in any form, but they do send me a great badge saying the anti-governing body, which I loved. But you know, you've either got Sh2out, which is basically commercial, you go along your pay, you've got your kayaks, da-da-da, and you've got things, and you've got complete free swimming. I think the compromise for that, which these people should be looking at, is having club set up where people can just go and swim through set hours into the club format. Now, this really talked, again, easy questions for them to knock out the park. As I said in my video, I did talk about all their aims on their website, and that was things about having guidelines for open water events. And I said, no way, there's already Swim England, Swim Wales, Swim Scotland, whatever, there's channel swimming, there's winter swimming, ice swimming. So why Triathlon feels it can look at events is beyond me, frankly. They're talking about, you know, general awareness and guidelines, and the Outdoor Swimming Society is there. And I feel like, you know, the Triathlon haven't mentioned any of these, you know, concerns by the Outdoor Swimming Society and everybody else. And I think that focusing on triathlon, that's what they know. They know about triathlon swimming, they know about triathlon. And if they want to open up venues, that's great. But if they're talking about open water swimming and not triathlon, which they're doing, they're talking about open water swimming, then they have to engage more with the open water swimming community. And they've got to also start to not just have triathlon regulations in there and guidelines. And there's the last bit here. We've heard rumours that wild swimming groups have been approached and told they'll become Sh2out accredited, and they say there's no accreditation process for formal groups. Now again, come on, outdoor swimmer, do your research. Talk to the Outdoor Swimming Society. They've been approached. They've had some of the members approached. So why don't you find out who has been approached and then take those sort of questions to Sh2out. So open up venues is great, but let's try and do it for the good of open water swimming and not just those who want to train for triathlon. Okay, rant over with. As I said, check out my other video. Most of my videos on my channel, almost all my videos on my channel, is about pure open water swimming. Have a look at them. I've got some great videos. Do like and subscribe to this channel.